how to do rounding off of whole numbers and decimals. The idea behind rounding off is basically halfway. And what is meant by this halfway is, for example, if I need to round off a number 23 to the nearest 10, in that case I will be marking my numbers on the number line. 23 means I will be taking 20 here and 30 here, and the halfway between them is 25. So our number 23 lies somewhere here and it is lesser than the halfway, so it has to go towards 20. So our final answer should be 20. Let's take another example. 867 to the nearest tens again. In that case, if we draw our number line, example, we have, this is my number line, and I will be marking 860 here and 870. Why we are taking it as 860 and 870? Because they have asked us to the nearest tens, so we will be working according to the tens of our numbers. So the halfway of them is 865. So the next thing is 867. It is here on the number line, it has crossed the halfway, so our final answer should be 870. We can do the same thing with hundreds and with thousands. Let's take a very basic example. I have a number 930. I need to round it off to the nearest 100. In that case, we'll make our number line. You can also do it without a number line. Alright, so we will be marking, since we have to deal with hundreds, so I will be taking 900 on one side and of course 1000 on the last one, and the halfway between them is 950. So we'll mark 930. It is here somewhere, so it is lesser than the halfway, so my final answer should be 900. Now what happens if any number is on the number line? Let it be 25 to the nearest tens, and my number line says that 20 should be here and 30 should be here and 25. When anything is on the number line, it is always rounded up 30. That should be our final answer. We'll go through a few examples. 487 to be rounded off to nearest 100. So what we will do, we will mark our things on the number line. This should be 400 and this should be 500, and here is my halfway, 450. Now 487 is here somewhere. This means my final answer should be 500. Second example, 2346 to the nearest 1000. This means I will be taking 2000 and 3000. My halfway will be 2500. This number 2346 is lesser than this halfway, so it will be rounded down, and that will be 2000. 6325. We'll be working on 100 places only, so that makes 6300 and 6400, and the halfway will be 6350. Now this number 6325 is here, so my answer should be 6300. 6325 to the nearest 10. We'll be working on tens only, so that makes 6320 here and 6330 here. Halfway will be 6325. The number is on the halfway, so my final answer should be 6330. Now we will be learning how to round off whole decimal numbers to whole numbers. So I have a number 7.4. I need to round it off to the whole number. Now whole number means either my answer should be 7 or 8, so that marks our halfway and things on the number line, and 7.5 is on the halfway. So 7.4, it is lesser than 7.5, so my answer should be 7. This is how we do it. Let's take another example. I have a number 73.47. I need to round it off to the nearest whole number. We'll draw a number line again. You can do it without it as well. It's not compulsory to draw number line again and again. So either my answer should be 73 or it should be 74. So let's see. I will be marking 73 here and 74, and the halfway between them is 73.5. So 73.47 is lesser than the halfway, so my answer should be 73. Now there are questions where they ask you to round off decimals to the nearest decimal places. It usually is given in your exam questions. You need to give your answer to one decimal place, especially when we are dealing with angles in trigonometry and in talking about any question that is involving angles. So I need to round off my number 74.268 to the nearest, or not to the nearest, to one decimal place. I'll be taking decimal place as dp. Okay, so let me show you this on the number line, how it works. Now when they are talking about one decimal place, we have a cutoff value here. We call them as a cutoff value. So this is my first decimal place. This means I will end my answer here. And now I will see what is after this cutoff point. This is 6. Now 6 is a number that is more than half of way between 0 and tens. This means my answer will be 74.3. We'll take one more example. Let us round off the same number to two decimal places, 74.268 to two decimal places. So my cutoff value is after two decimal places here. I want to keep my answer till 6. Now we will see what is after 6. This is 8. Again, this number is greater than this halfway, so my final answer will be 74.27. This is how we do it. Okay, in these examples we will be looking at rounding off all these decimals. The first 4 examples are to be rounding off them to whole numbers. So 4.8, let's mark them on the number line. So either your number will be 4 or your number will be 5. So the middle way will be 4.5. The number is greater than 4.5, so that makes my answer as 5. 13.4, I'll mark 13 and 14, and my halfway is 13.5. The number is lesser than the halfway, it will remain 13. 23.45, so either it will be 23 or it will be 24. Halfway will be 23.5. The number is lesser than 23.5, so that makes it 23. 134.69, your number either will be 134 or it should be 135. Halfway will be 134.5. The number is greater than this halfway, it will be rounded up, that is 135. Then 2.365 to one decimal place. So my number either it will be 2.37 or it will remain 2.3. So what happens here, this one decimal place, I am marking this. This is my cutoff value, this one. Now after 3 we have 6. If we have 6, So if I mark numbers, it's just for your own working. You don't have to be doing it with every question. If you are in a practice, you won't be needing number lines in future. So the number is greater than 5, so that makes my answer for this particular question as 2.4. So that makes my answer, writing down it here, 2.4. Okay, again 1 decimal place. This is my cutoff value, 7. After 7 I have 3. This 3 is lesser than halfway, so my answer will remain 6.7. Now what students usually do, they start with the last number and they keep on rounding off, and then they reach their answer, which is completely incorrect. You will have to mark the the cutoff point, and then you can proceed. 2 decimal places. So 2 decimal places marks 13.73. This is the cutoff point. This number is lesser than 5, so that makes my answer as 13.73. Now the last number here, it is 9.999 to 1 decimal place. So 1 decimal place, I'm writing down it here, it's not visible there, so it is 9.999 to 1 decimal place. Now if I talk about first decimal, every number is 9 here, and it is greater than 5. So what happens with this answer, this will be rounded up to 10. So that's my answer. That's all for rounding off.